Hello, and welcome back to Critical Recovery. Tonight, I, your DM, Crash, am joined by a collection of fantastic people who are also all happy to be here. Tonight I'm joined by Chris, Io, Jen, Cindy, Archbeth is hanging out in chat, and Ellie will be joining us shortly. And I have no idea how long I can keep this voice up, but I'm trying very, very hard to not break up laughing. So, I will ask the party, what happened last week?
We found a little bit more about Fava's former boss, the dragon, especially when Fava started walking on water because they couldn't get too close to the lair.
Still don't trust her?
That's fair, but right now Fava is kind of the boss because a goddess brought us back to life, so yeah. Gorga did last week go on record saying she hates this gig, but she's still doing it.
Right.
And then Fiddle Punch gave us an airship called the Eyesore, which was made out of a skeleton. And then
It almost went splat.
And then the skeleton attacked us while we were inside it.
Right.
And
that's
most people...
why Talia almost went splat.
Right.
Yeah, Ryan managed to sprout wings and fly outside. Gorga managed to beat Dexterous and keep her footing and eventually started surfing on some sand thanks to momentum, but everyone else got knocked around a lot as we crashed, and we eventually killed the skeleton. We are now in the desert seeking a Draco Lich's horde.
Right. And Morley made masks for everyone, including the little dragon, so you don't have to breathe in all of the dirt.
And now we're kind of stranded in an unlivable desert.
I mean, it's not totally unlivable. I mean, you've got Gorp with you. Thava brought a decanter of endless water.
Gorp's the soul ball, yeah?
Oh, right.
No.
No?
That was Uruk.
Oh.
Alright, who's Gorp?
Gorp
Who is Gorp?
Gorp is trail mix. So it's a collection of like granola and nuts and dried fruit mixed together.
Oh, okay.
Right, okay.
Anytime you see something that says like you have iron rations, it's jerky and Gorp. Because that stuff doesn't go bad. That or pemmican. It might be pemmican.
Maybe just call it jerky and trail mix?
Trail mix is 2 syllables. Gorp is 1.
Gorp sounds gross. Trail mix doesn't.
I mean, I went to a summer camp growing up where we called the fruit drink that was served to us during meals bug juice. So it's kind of standard.
Yeah, but kids like gross stuff. You tend to grow out of that.
Also, we don't have summer camps over here. Our summer consists of rain.
Oh, well, there
Who wants to send kids to a camp while it's raining constantly?
My hand's up. I'll do that. It's fun.
So, we're fighting the eyesore.
Well, you were. You
Well,
won.
we did.
It was incinerated. Thava got the killing blow because it got a blow in on her, and she used a spell slot to do Hellish Rebuke.
Why
And that
did
was fun.
I think we ended on the eyesore turning into a new thingy?
I think you're confusing when we went to break because we went to break after we crashed and it stood up.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yes, I'm confusing when we went to break.
It's fair. It's been a week, and it's been a week.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, with all of that said, we are going to fast forward past maybe a day and a half. So go ahead and press the long rest button, anyone who used up any spell slots.
I don't even think I took a hit.
I used up more spell slots than I have.
Oh, my.
I am allowed to do that. Sometimes I'm a sorcerer.
Yeah, there was a point where you refilled the tank, yes.
I think I
Even
just used
Thava
cantrip.
went low. Okay. So, with that long rest button pressed, you have not seen really anything of interest on the first day. What you could see from where you crashed was that it wasn't so much a desert like you see traditionally in cartoons where it's rolling hills of sand everywhere and off in the distance is a mirage of an oasis with a palm tree because of course there's a palm tree. Why wouldn't there be a palm tree? No.
Like on that shirt.
Oh,
More or less.
interesting. Maybe this is where they got the inspiration for the little plant on the shirt.
Except you don't see that here. That's not what you see. This is a desert only because it gets no rainfall. It had been fertile land. It had been one of the bread baskets for the Empire at the time. So the ground is actually pretty good, except it's incredibly dried out, as are all the fences and the trees and the houses, the farmhouses that you can see scattered around. Every now and then there's a town. You are approaching a town, by the way, just because it is between you and where Thava says you should be going.
If we want, I can send my familiar, because my familiar can fly towards the town and we can scout it out a little bit.
That's an excellent idea.
Yeah, better safe than sorry.
Okay.
Even if it seems like this place is deader than dead.
So, click my fingers, the little imp appears on my shoulder, and I direct it towards the town, scout it out, find out whatever you can, and send it off.
Okay.
When it goes off, I put my hand on Gorga's shoulder, and my eyes go completely white, and I can't see anymore because I'm looking through the imp.
I've seen a D&D campaign show where the headcanon for it was when the person controlling the familiar sends their mind into the familiar to control it, the mind of the familiar is sent into the person. It's a swap.
Can we not do that?
The familiar they were controlling was like a small lizard thing, so they were just on the ground going and it was adorable. I acquiesce to your request. We're not doing that.
Well,
it'd be funny.
If Talia's still capable of walking in this state, I'll do my best to guide her and make sure
when I'm in this state, I cannot see, I cannot hear, but I can still walk. You just have to direct me. By the way, my imp turns invisible because it can do that.
So yeah, I'll do my best to guide her and make sure she doesn't trip on anything.
The town is a ghost town. And by that, I do not mean that there are ghosts in the town, not that your imp can see. There isn't even tumbleweed. There's nothing. There are some doors that are open. There's some things that are broken. Nothing here looks like it has rotted away so much as it's just been here for centuries, literal centuries, and worn out.
I admit this. Oh, wait, no, we're not there yet. We just have a scouting person. I don't get to talk.
I am repeating what I am seeing. So you're hearing what I'm seeing, but obviously if you respond to me, I can't hear you. But y'all can discuss amongst yourselves. I'm just letting you know what I'm seeing.
Vex takes this moment to perch on top of Talia's head.
I can feel that, and I can swat him away.
Give me a dexterity check.
Oh, no.
Hey, come on, Vex.
You there?
Oh, I'm muted. Not great. 7.
Okay, well, I got a 19 for Vex. So every time you reach up to swat Vex, Vex does get up and then lands back down on top of your head.
I'm going to try to
assuming
swat
it's the
Vex
dragon.
off.
I'm going to kill it.
The chirp that Vex makes is one of shock and indignation.
Come on, Vex. Let's leave our grumpy friend alone.
Give me an animal handling check.
Animal handling is wisdom. That's a 5.
I'm going to try to swat Vex off. So.
Come on,
Okay.
don't. Oh.
I got a 15 on my dex.
Congratulations. You now have a Vex that is perched on your elbow.
Okay, I'll live with that.
In a very awkward way. If you lower your arm, the weight of Vex on your elbow is probably going to require Vex to use claws. So you got to keep your elbow up or cause pain to yourself.
I'll keep my elbow up. I don't want it messing with the one member of the party that can't see it.
Vex, you've had your fun. No, seriously, Vex, you've had your fun. Vex makes the saddest of chirps and comes over to Thava and perches on Thava's shoulder.
Oh.
Pseudo-dragons are incredibly intelligent. Vex is not acting like a cat because he has the mind of a cat. He knows exactly what he would.
Yeah, well, it still works on me.
All right, so you don't see anything in the town, and actually, give me a perception check, Talia, because you are trying very hard to look around. So I'll take a perception check.
What's the imp's perception? Ugh, +1.
No, you're looking through the imp's eyes, so use yours.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
If you were just telling the imp go do that, that'd be using the imp's perception, but you're controlling it.
10.
Congratulations. It's a ghost town. You don't see anything.
I am not the seeing person this time around.
Yeah, but unfortunately I can't see through the imp's eyes.
I know.
So right now, all Gorga thinks is this place might make a great bonfire when we're passed through it.
Okay, well, knowing that great, it's just a ghost town, I'll take my vision back, snap my fingers, and Cup Dog is now on my shoulder.
Okay. As you're going through the town, it is a little bit more than a town that has a single street that everyone built their homes up to. There are a few side streets, but very few side streets. And the area you've been walking on for a while now has looked like it was a road at one point. As this whole area is kind of like Depression area United States Dust Bowl, there's large amounts of dust that have covered up a lot of the features that are on ground level. But you see fence posts and stuff sticking up on the side, so it starts to become a little bit more obvious, especially in the middle of town. And right at the center, there does happen to be a well.
Are we all there now?
Oh yeah, you came into town.
Okay. Well,
There cannot possibly be any water in there.
If there was, there would still be people alive here, and yeah, even groundwater needs to have a source.
this is
I mean,
a horrible place.
if we really want to check if there's water down there, I just gonna look at
Well, what have we here?
What is that?
I look in the well.
You see two glowing, orangey red eyes surrounded in a wreath of green flame.
Gotta compliment you on your puns.
I don't usually have an audience. It's nice for a change.
Don't compliment puns. The lowest form of comedy.
Well, I like them.
Flaming green skull flies up out of the well and into Talia's face. How dare you? They are the highest form of... What were we talking about?
Don't worry about it. She's like that.
Yeah, don't mind us. We're just passing through.
Ah, so am I.
Why were you in the well, then? You were waiting for a big entrance?
You were waiting to be punny.
Well, I was looking for loose change, and the moment struck me.
Okay, then. So you are from here or somewhere
Oh, no one's from here. Not anymore.
At the risk of being rude, what's
please,
around
rude.
here to buy?
No idea. Also, I got no pockets, so it would have just been something shiny to look at, really.
You know what? Fair enough.
How did you end up here? You
I
said you
walked.
were from somewhere else. You walked. Okay.
This thing has legs?
From
Did we
where?
look for
Walk
some
from where?
missing skeleton feet?
It was a joke.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I got
Sure.
that. You walked from where?
I don't remember.
Well, you're not helpful.
Yes, I was told that a lot. That's why I left.
Okay.
Who told you that?
I don't remember.
I see.
Can I do an insight check? Just to
Go right ahead.
I would also like to do an insight check.
15.
Okay, so undead come in a variety of
come
types. There's the incredibly intelligent undead that are the big bads of campaigns and are master planners and incredibly deceitful, and the Strads of the undead, let's put it that way. There's also the mindless undead that sit there and follow orders. And then there's this guy who is apparently like one step up.
I wouldn't.
So, you have a name?
Probably.
And you don't remember it?
Nope.
Well, guess I'll call you probably then.
Can we just call him idiot?
Well, probably we should just leave you to your business and continue on our journey.
Ah, certainly. Well, it was wonderful to meet you all.
And what are you going to do now?
I
We don't need to know.
don't know.
Okay.
You want to come with us?
Gorga
Why
is
would you
face
ask
palming at that.
Why?
Because I feel bad about leaving him here in this nowhere place.
He's fine. He's happy.
Fine, he seems to like it.
It probably helps that he does not remember very much for long.
I don't imagine that. I think he's got the brain capacity of like a fish or something. I don't imagine that he actually remembers things for more than maybe 10 minutes.
You're more
What is
charitable
this,
than I tell you.
What does this skull look like? Does it look like a human or a Kobold?
It looks humanoid. I have a picture I can share with you.
Oh, all right.
I mean, we don't have to bring him. We could leave him here, pretend we never met him, just move on with our lives.
Oh,
I am on board with this plan.
To be quite honest, the process of turning me into an undead removed most of my memories and a lot of my intellectual capabilities. I can still cast spells like I did when I was alive, and occasionally I have flashbacks to a former existence. But then, what were we talking about?
Do you want some company for a little while?
What's that?
Like when we go, do you want some company?
Like a business?
Oh, good lord! I say, go down, keep him company, and when I need you, I'll call you.
Well, probably you told us you were going that way, and I point the exact opposite direction we're traveling.
Oh,
You said you had
come
some
on.
important business there?
Yes, you have to go meet an important businessman in that direction.
Oh,
Opposite
that's
direction.
why you were bringing up companies. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
it's-
no.
Oh, this is a mess already.
Why are you two like that?
Why we said you're gaslighting an undead?
Fava, by the way, is just standing to the side with one hand over her mouth, and what you can see of her expression is unreadable.
Well, she has a mask already. She wanted me to,
Yeah, but she's got like one hand up underneath her chin, like she's being pensive.
Okay.
So I say, and I'm saying this quietly, so the undead can hear. We just leave and we just go. We don't deal with them. You can play with Coptog for about an hour. I'll bring Coptog back when I need him.
Gorga gives a thumbs up to this plan.
I don't like this place. I don't like leaving anyone here, even if they're an undead skull with the memory of a goldfish.
Every single time we come up with an undead, first time it attacked you and we told you to leave them alone. The second time it was no, we leave it.
To be fair, one of those times it was Tim.
And I still don't trust him.
But why
You
not?
don't trust anyone,
This is
Talia.
true. This is
trust Gorga.
probably why not. But
I
yes.
trust Gorga.
There are a lot of
trust-
people you shouldn't
Look,
trust.
There
are plenty you should, and many of the ones who I think you should trust Tim.
He seemed
Look.
very nice. He was
But I
trying
don't
to help
trust
us.
you, so I'm not going to trust what you just said.
Talia,
Fair
You've
enough.
met
Talia.
Tim, though. How do you... I mean, he was just fine. He was no problem at all. He didn't attack us. He didn't send his... I believe he
Can
sent
I ask-
pets after us,
can I ask you a question, Talia?
Certainly.
Sure, go ahead.
Of all of us, look, of all of us,
Uh-huh.
you trust the person who plays cards with 8 aces.
I trust the person who allegedly plays cards with 8 aces, because that's something I would do.
It was
And
9.
because the person who allegedly plays cards with 8 aces showed nothing but pure fear. Fear doesn't lie. You learn a lot about a person from what their fears are. Fear doesn't lie.
Gorga mentally takes notes at that.
Fear has never been a great guide.
Fear is the only thing you can.
Actually, are like.
Fear and your fight and flight is the only thing you can trust. It's the only thing that doesn't lie to you.
He
Yo.
pierce the mask we all wear.
The half-drow kind of makes sense. I mean, everyone here was afraid of Deucalion,
Afraid of
and he
who?
didn't lie.
Afraid of who?
Deucalion.
Was that the Draco Lich?
What's a Deucalion?
No. Was he one of your friends? Okay, he was not a friend. Well, we have an
he
answer.
wasn't. We were acquaintances.
No. Okay. Is he still around here, do you think?
Nope.
Do I recognize that name at all?
Didn't Fava say Duke Alien in the last session? I can't remember.
Yes.
But I
Yes.
thought
Yes.
so.
Chris wasn't here for that, but yes.
Oh, right.
Oh,
yeah.
I
That's
turned
right.
to Fava. You mentioned that name.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the dragon whose horde we're trying to plunder.
The one
Why
who-
did you? Ugh.
Ancient Blue? Yes.
when it was
Draco
alive,
Lich when he
most
was
likely.
here.
Ancient Blue
So
Dragon.
probably. Is he still around? Or around again or whatever?
Probably not.
Okay,
Cool.
this idiot's trying to really annoy me.
He is answering your questions, though.
I know, but the laughing is really annoying.
You can get used to it.
Well, you ask obvious
It's proving
questions.
to be useful, you know.
As probably
We already
as you
knew the
dubbed him.
answers to these questions.
Yeah,
I
as probably
wasn't
is
here.
responding to you. He's slowly turning 360 degrees on an axis that has him facing you the whole time, but he goes upside down and then right side up again. You keep asking obvious questions. Of course Deucalion isn't here. If he was here, he'd know you're here, and if he knew you were here, you would probably be more like me.
You know, fair enough.
Right, so as I said before, I believe you have
You've been-
important business in that direction, once again pointing the opposite direction we're going.
Yes.
You've
And we
been
need to
very
get on our way.
helpful.
No, he hasn't. We knew all this.
Well, it's good to have confirmation, because if what we knew turned out to be wrong somehow, wouldn't it be good to know?
No, because then we just kill Fava.
You're welcome to try.
You said the quiet part out loud.
No.
You people
She
keep
said
getting
the out
mad at
loud
me
part.
for
Out
my
loud.
lack of discretion, and then you go and blurt out.
Please give Jane inspiration.
Fair. Very fair. Very fair.
Inspiration for that? Oh my goodness. Okay.
Technically, you didn't make the DM crack up laughing, which is what the requirement is. But you broke several members of the party.
I did, yes.
And that's fair.
Okay.
Okay, so you have repeatedly told this skull that is on fire and floating in front of you that they have important business elsewhere and pointed the direction that you're not going. And then you've
Yes.
stayed around and continued to argue. Meanwhile, the skull is just standing there, well, figuratively,
Floating
not
there.
literally.
Yeah.
It's just floating there watching you argue.
We're not arguing. We're having a creative discussion.
We're
They are floating there
arguing.
watching you have a creative discussion.
Let's just get on our way, shall we?
I agree. I couldn't agree more.
Right. Probably. Guess it's your choice. Good luck.
Well, let's take a vote. Are we leaving the skull? Raise your hands to leave.
That's incredibly
I raise my
unfair of
hand.
you.
He's kind of entertaining, though.
Well, at least two of us have our hands up.
The fire that's coming around the skull sort of branches off to one side, and the semblance of a hand is just briefly visible.
See, even the skull
all
wants
right,
us to leave.
I was just checking to see if I could do it.
Well, you did it. Very proud of you. Goodbye.
All right, have fun.
Okay, well, take care of yourself then.
I try to.
You've succeeded somewhat so far. I mean, you were here to have this conversation. It's something.
I mean, I gotta take care of myself. I ain't got nobody else.
Gorga is face palming again.
Are you sure you don't want him coming along?
I'm holding back the ability of Eldritch
told
Blast.
you he
to the
was
face.
kind of interesting. He
Was that
I'm holding back Eldritch Blast to the face.
supposed? Why are you all laughing at that?
No, not all of us are.
Oh, I thought that was
But
another
it was
pack.
the pun, yes.
Oh, I get it. Actually, that is very ableist of you.
That's kind of funny.
You may have a point there, actually. I had not thought of this.
Okay, can we leave now?
You know, at this point, Gorga is going to stop caring and just start walking.
By the way,
Talia is going to start following.
most of the time you've been having this conversation, Thava has been waiting on the side of the well that you need to go to in order to continue to your destination.
You know, we as Gorga and I are walking, I just turned to Fava and said, "You know, we can leave the other two. We'll be fine."
I don't know.
One-
One of them has healing spells.
I have mild capabilities.
You people would not be fine without me. 2, yeah, we're coming.
I don't know. I reckon we'd be fine.
So,
You do a bunch of random terrible nonsense, insist you could totally take these hits, and then fail to take them.
I hold my hand up in front of my chest so Ryan can't see. Click my fingers, and the imp just appears right in front of their face. Just give a little jump scare.
Talia,
Yes.
So remember when you were hanging from your fingernails out of the airship?
Mhm.
Remember when the figurative tank that is Rhine was tearing apart the thing that caused that problem?
I can have a little fun. Jeez. Everyone is so uptight.
Yes. When do you intend to start? In any case, I think we've wasted enough time at this well. We need to get moving. As much as you've said you want to go, you're still here.
Me and
Let's
Talia
go.
already started walking.
Yeah, I can teleport that like 120 feet, so I'm gone.
I'm
We're
coming.
gone.
Okay. So you continue walking for many more hours. It is much more monotonous after you leave the town, but eventually you start getting closer and closer to what appears to be a city off in the distance. It does have a wall going around it with battlements and crenellations and all that fancy stuff. Many cities over time collect a bunch of buildings outside the walls as the population continues to grow beyond what can be held within the city. This city doesn't have any of that. It has flat land outside the walls. And
So either this city was short-lived or it had population control. Either way, it should be abandoned now if we're lucky.
oh,
Do
it's
you
not
want me to double
abandoned.
check? Oh, it's not.
No. Well, as I said when we were arriving, if we're lucky, the only things we'll find inside are dust, bones, and treasure. If we're not lucky, what we will find inside will be dust, bones, and treasure.
I hate that you keep saying the bones part. Too much undead.
Yeah, I feel
Far
like.
too much
Well, we each have our hobbies. Deucalion collected skeleton. That he did!
Right.
Oh,
Oh god,
Oh,
it's
it's probably still with us.
there he is. Probably.
Okay, I'm fairly
Um,
good at perception. You were not following us. You're right, I wasn't.
Do you teleport?
What's that?
Can you teleport away from us?
You keep saying that word.
Can you burrow to the center of the planet?
I mean, I've never tried before.
Have
Try
fun.
now.
It's quite fun.
You're not the boss of me.
Just kill
Well, he
it.
did say he does magic.
You could
I
just kill it
do.
again.
Killing things is not a solution to everything.
You would
You'd
never
be surprised.
You would never survive the waste of Johas.
You'd be surprised what people can live through. And to
I
be
don't
fair,
think anyone around here has a place to stand calling people out for not surviving things.
yes, that's what I was going to say after I said to be fair. Everyone in this entire deity's forsaken land has experienced death at least once.
Both times I died in a war.
Well, if we can't get rid of probably, let's just ignore it and continue our business.
400 years for this.
Could have been worse. You could have been killed by a kobold.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
I know,
You were
right?
killed by a kobold?
To be fair, most of the damage came from a half-elf. But the kobold got the killing blow. Didn't even see him.
It's the half-elf, the one that the dragon's named after that you keep talking about being a very...
Yes.
Okay.
I think you and he, if you ever met, would either get along swimmingly in a way that terrifies me personally, or you'd be at each other's throats within 5 minutes. I can't decide which.
Probably going to say at each other's throats.
Might depend on the circumstances either way. In any case, how do we open those portcullis?
Open sesame?
The portcullis don't move.
It's worth a try.
Maybe it's in the inflection.
I have some rope. We can. I don't know how we'd anchor it, but we can.
Have we had a long rest since the last
Yes.
time I was here? Okay.
Yes.
Right, well, how high is the portcullis?
They're about 15 feet.
And it's solid?
It's a bunch of bars. So
Oh,
you
it's
can
bars?
You can see through them to a small hallway that has what appears to be a large wooden door with a lot of metal bolts sticking out of it on the other side.
Is there anything on the inside that... Okay, wait. Is there anything on the inside that looks like it would open the portcullis?
On the other side of the bars, the only things you see besides the door and the hallway are a lot of openings that look like deadly things could be dropped or shot through.
Okay.
Is this
If there's
thing that can be
controls for the
climbed
port,
over.
I mean, I can get us in there. That's not a problem. It's just about getting I can get at least me and one other person in there. It's just about getting everyone else in.
well, if
How
there's
about
controls
you
for the
send
portcullis,
the
it's
imp
probably somewhere
through
high.
those bars?
I left the imp at the well, so I clicked my fingers.
Oh, poor little guy.
I left the imp
Stuck
with
in
the
the well.
skull. I left the imp with the skull. I clicked my fingers. The imp's back. Through the bars. Go, go, go.
Okay, the imp goes through the bars. It's
Find
almost as if the
something.
bars are far enough apart that they weren't planning on imps.
Find something to open the portcullis.
It gives a salute that might also double as a rude gesture and heads out of sight.
He is not so happy with you now for leaving him in a well.
Oh, he's
actually,
used to
he
it.
seems
He's
quite
been left
happy.
in weird places.
I wasn't aware familiars were capable of being disloyal.
This
Oh
one,
no, they're not
maybe.
capable of being. They're not capable of being disloyal. They're just capable
Just
of being
disgruntled, you know?
being disgruntled. Exactly. Yes.
So
He's a
far,
good-
I have seen your imp give 3 different tiers of rude gestures. This tier is the tier I refer to as the...
I taught it.
Yes, and the others it still learned from watching you. This tier is the tier I
That's
refer to as the I am happy to do this because I'll probably be able to find some mischief along the way tier.
Yes, he's good at finding mischief. Him.
Case in point, if the portcullis do go up, go under them very quickly because your imp might drop them partway through just to
Oh,
see what
no.
happens. Not saying
Okay.
it will,
Good to know.
but it is...
I mean, we could send the floating skull through just in case.
the floating skull has been going between the portcullis back and forth, is weaving in a figure 8.
Maybe go further in to see if all those things are deadly traps.
Oh, really? Okay. Are there any deadly traps here? Any at all? Hello? Boiling
Considering
oil?
it's floating and not
Arrows?
walking on the ground, it wouldn't
I
trigger
mean, if
most
it's
traps.
potentially, if it's magic, it could trigger just from someone being there.
Fair.
Maybe it is not magic, though.
The skull comes back out to be with the rest of you and says, nope, all I saw were a bunch of kobold skeletons.
Kobold
Were
skeletons?
they lying there, or were they walking around?
Go and
Nope.
poke a couple of them.
With what?
Your face.
Hal is probably supposed to do this. I mean, really.
Your face. Just headbutt
Just-
them.
Or bite them, whatever.
Glasgow kiss them. Jesus.
I don't even know what Glasgow is. Is that like glass that moves?
Sure. Just go headbutt them.
Okay, but if I Glasgow kiss them, no tongue.
Oh.
That is not what a Glasgow kiss is.
Well, I already said I don't know what it is.
It's essentially just a headbutt.
Oh, well, why didn't you say that?
I
She
did
did
multiple
say
times.
it. Oh. And the skull just slowly floats backwards while still staring directly at you
Go
until
headbutt the skulls.
until it is in line with one of the murder holes on the sides of the hallway, and then it attempts to go through one of them and bounces off the sides of the murder hole because it is not wide enough for a skull to pass through.
Oh.
If that
Well,
thing's
that
still
didn't
with
work.
us 2 days from now, I'm gonna kill it myself.
I'm going to help her.
Too late! Someone beat you to it!
You can die in undeath. You can
I
die
tried!
when being
It doesn't
undead.
I
Sometimes
like
that's-
him.
Sometimes it can be more fun killing undead.
Probably comes back over to Talia and says, in all seriousness, I have tried multiple times since I came to my senses to end my existence, and I keep coming back. So if you find a way to do that, I'd be forever grateful in the brief moments of my existence that remain. Right, so, looking for kobolds. I'm off!
Eldritch Blast.
Oh,
It just told
Give
me
me
it
a
wants to die.
Give me a roll.
no! Well, he did say that.
Natural 20.
Oh no, he's going to be a little
Seriously,
bit
wonderful. Roll your damage.
Oh no.
It's only 12 damage.
Okay, so the skull goes flying and bounces off of a battlement and lands out of sight.
Well, hopefully I did what it wanted me to do.
That, or it's going to come back.
I think it might. It
At
seems
which
to have a
case,
problem,
you know,
yes.
I told it I would try.
Your imp comes back.
Oh, what'd you find here?
Can your imp speak?
Yeah, it's an imp.
Okay.
Language is Infernal and Common.
Oh, I'll understand him.
Okay. I will not roleplay the imp because,
No.
well, specifically because I'm thinking about the player and the character who summoned the imp. And to be true
I'm a
to
terrible
this, to be true to this particular imp that has been summoned, it tends to use profanities as adjectives, adverbs, nouns, and
Of endearment.
verbs, and occasionally integers and conjunctions. But what you gather from this, and that's when it's not speaking Infernal. But what you gather from this is that there is, in fact, a lever that could be pulled. That seems to be the thing that lowers the portcullis quickly. There is also a wheel that could be turned to raise the portcullis, but something with the strength of an imp is not able to turn the wheel.
Can you go there so I can see where it is?
It gives
Is this a wall or is it a closed thingy?
It's like when you see the front of a castle and after the drawbridge there's a bunch of bars that come down as a gate that can be dropped. That's what's in front of you right now.
If I can go there, I will look through its eyes and then grab onto Gorga and Misty Step there.
Okay.
Don't grab onto me. My strength is terrible.
Grab on me.
Wait, hold on. I'm confusing Misty Step and Dimension Door. I can only get myself through there.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so you're in a small room with a lever. There's only one lever, so it's probably not the wrong lever. And a wheel that has a little bit of chain wrapped around it, wrapped around the axis for it. And the chain goes up into a hole in the ceiling, you assume, to connect to the portcullis. There are also several kobold skeletons scattered throughout this room.
Okay, well, I say to the imp, well, help me then, and I'll get him to use the assist action to get me advantage on the strength check to try and open the portcullis.
Okay, this is a hilarious perspective, because as you are putting all of your weight into turning this wheel, the imp is there just hanging from one of the parts of the wheel, with its feet dangling, adding all of its weight to the effort.
15.
The portcullis goes up about a foot.
Can anyone else get in?
Not sure.
But if we lay on the ground and roll, can we make that?
Depends
Well,
how
I
long
don't
she can keep
expect
that
this.
in the air.
I don't expect this to help. I don't expect this to work, but it's going to make me feel better. So, and Ryan slams themselves against the gate.
Oh.
Now, the gate goes up and down. If you slam against it, it's not going to budge it, but you could.
Well, I'm going to try to give it a shove up.
Okay, give me a strength athletics check.
Dirty 20.
Wow.
Okay, with a dirty 20, Talia, you feel like you've gotten a second wind. That or your imp is very helpful.
Oh, so you're finally putting your back into it, I see.
Your imp just looks at you. And then slowly nods. Like, if you're going to give your imp credit for this, the imp is not going to say no to getting credit for this. It's an imp. It's a being from the lower planes. It'll accept this.
It's
all
why
right.
Talia loves him.
And it is possible to then move the lever, and it locks the portcullis at whatever position it's in, so everyone can go through without fear of it falling unless someone moves the lever again.
Good job.
Okay. Well, we have gotten into whatever this place is.
You know,
You're
I
welcome.
didn't actually expect that to help so much.
But it...
It was a dirty 20. You're getting something for a dirty 20.
Well, you all are welcome. I did my job.
Yeah, thank you. Let's look for that dragon horde.
And I slap myself on the chest and do mage armor.
So looking at the record
All right.
from the last time someone came through here, at least the last time someone who makes records came through here, every single spot of this city was filled with kobold skeletons. And Thava gestures broadly at the main thoroughfare that you are walking down, now that you've gotten past the gate. Yes, there was the wooden door on the other side, but that wasn't much of a challenge to open up from the inside. But Thava gestures broadly, and all of you see no skeletons.
think I missed a word in there. We see what?
No
Skeletons.
Okay.
So,
The streets are vacant.
No
our ship randomly came to life.
Yeah.
Let's assume that all these things are alive, but until they actually start moving at us, hope they're passive. So,
Well, there's no skeletons. The only person who has seen skeletons, there are 2 beings who have seen skeletons. Well, 3 if you include the imp. Talia saw some in the room that controls the portcullis. Probably saw some skeletons. The imp was there with Talia, so the imp saw them too. No one else has seen any.
well, let's keep our eyes out either way. Fava said there used to be skeletons here. Let's assume that's still true, even if we don't see them. But, as I say, don't spill your blood in a fight if you don't have to.
Well, that's also...
They must have gone somewhere. Wait, was the dragon hoarding cobalt skeleton? Was that his treasure?
Oh, no, he had a wide collection of treasure. That was something that you or I would value as well.
I see.
Collecting skeletons was... I should remember more of the details. But he was told an army was needed, so he was building one.
Did he send them somewhere else to go fight something, and that is why they are not here?
I sincerely hope not. I mean, it would make it easier for us, but at the same time...
Army of cobalt skeletons attacking some unknown target.
Yes, that's kind of
Yeah, but an
terrifying.
army without a leader rarely stays an army, so if Duke Alien was raising an army and Duke Alien died, then the most likely scenario is that the army disbanded and went their separate ways.
I know from personal
made of
experience, an army of the undead usually does not need a leader at their forefront for them to lay waste to a large swath of area before they're stopped.
Either way, it
Malfolmax's
doesn't sound like it's our
first
problem right
strategy.
now,
It is if they're still here.
which is why I said
Yes.
keep an eye out.
Yes.
Okay, we look for the cobalt skeletons, right?
No, we don't look for them. We keep an eye out for them and just head to
The
where they're...
same, no? I mean,
Look implies we're going out of our way to find them. Keep an eye out means we're doing our business while also making sure they don't attack us.
common is confusing. Infernal is so much easier. It is exactly what you think it means every time. Anyway.
I just look at the imp. She's not wrong about that. Is more like he, she, or
Morley is he.
he? My bad. He's not wrong about that.
The imp gives you a salute that's from tier 2.
To the Horde!
For the Horde! Wait.
For the Horde!
Excuse me, I had something caught in my throat. Well, Thava is green. So as you are continuing through this eerily empty and silent city, you hear a rattle.
I look over at the rattle.
It was
Me
off in the
too.
distance. There's nothing that you can see.
Well, I'm keeping an eye on that direction anyway.
Thava does not stop.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Thava does not stop.
All right, I keep following.
Yep.
As
I don't
you're
know why
following,
I'm using my in-character voice for my out-of-character, for my actions as well as my words, but
I've been doing that with Morley sometimes too, so.
if I can start our session with ASMR, we can stay in character for our voices. It's fine. As you are continuing to follow, Thava does hold back just a little bit to get within speaking quietly distance and says, I heard it too, but if they're not acting first, we're not acting first either. What I've read basically had the last group that came through here only enter combat when they started something. Actually, not even then to begin with, but it was complicated. Point is, we might not have to fight if we don't go looking for a fight.
I thought that's what I said earlier, but okay.
Yes, I'm agreeing with you. I know that is your strategy, Gorga, and I'm very happy it's your strategy. Some of us like to throw an eldritch blast at the drop of a hat. Right. And you continue onwards, and after a little bit longer, you hear a boom.
Once again, I'll keep my eye out in that direction, but unless
But
I
we
see
keep
something
walking.
hostile, yeah.
Boom. And there's
That
a bunch more
sounds-
rattling.
That sounds big.
Yes.
sounds big and growly, but not our problem unless it makes itself our problem.
Yes, let's keep going, but maybe keep an eye out for side alleys that are parallel to the main thoroughfare if we have to get into a narrower area to avoid big things. Boom.
Duly noted and applied.
Okay.
I'm gonna have my arm and my shield and my hand on my sword hilt.
From the opposite direction, you hear bidibum, 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 bidibum. It's getting closer.
Maybe side.
Okay, so, but which side alley? You could go to in the direction of the boom sound, or in the direction of the bidibum, bidibum, bidibum sound. If you're running away from one, you're going towards the other.
Into an alley towards the boom sound, away from the fast sound. Fast sound's more likely to fit in an alley.
Yep.
Okay, so you find an alley and you scrunch into it. You all fit pretty well. As you go into the alley, you hear a lot of rattling that moves away from you as you go into the alley. The alley is not the dead end that Archbeth is saying it is. Other than the fact that it's a pun, I appreciate the pun, but it is not in fact a dead end.
With any luck, the two noises we heard are going to try to kill each other.
Are we ever that lucky?
No.
There is a first time
Usually.
for everything, though.
I mean, most of the time I have been that lucky. Boom. Bits of dust and small pebbles break away from the walls that are in this alley from that last one.
I put my hands on Gorga's shoulder and send the imp and go into the imp's vision. What do I see?
Okay. There is a thing. That
doesn't round it down.
No, it doesn't.
Well,
But that is your first thought when you see it, because it is you see it and you say, well, that's definitely not a kobold. But we're trying to define it by what it is, not by what it isn't. It is also not a single skeleton, but it is one thing. It looks to be as if somebody used kobold skeletons like
It's an
Lego
A-bomb.
kit to make a larger humanoid.
It's an A-bomb.
I was about to say Kobold Voltron.
It's an abomination.
Imagine, if you will, Kobold Voltron, but it was the Voltron that was made up of like 24 different ships instead of 5 lions. Oh, and don't stop at 24. Just keep adding more. There is not a trench coat large enough for this being to wrap themselves in. It is, however, not incredibly tall. It's only about 20 feet tall, so it's hard to see if there's a building in the way. But it is sort of walking down some streets that are wide enough for it. It's kind of moving aimlessly. Like, it'll take a step in a few directions, then it'll turn and go somewhere else. If it's looking for something, it's hard to tell because its head is part of its torso. Maybe? Or maybe that's supposed to be an ornate chest piece? The whole thing is made of bones, so it's hard to tell. It is a thing.
Pull the imp back and come out of it. It's some kind of undead construction? An abomination type thing? I don't know.
Do we need to put up yellow and black tape?
Does it look like it's coming in our direction?
It looks like it's wandering aimlessly.
That's actually good news, surprisingly.
does it look like the thing that was the ship?
It looks like about 30 kobolds sewed together.
Oh no.
That's bad.
Disturbing.
Well, whatever was making the fast noises seems to have passed, so if the big thing is wandering around aimlessly, then let's just keep heading towards the horde, but try to keep our distance.
Bid-a-bump. Bid-a-bump. Bid-a-bump.
Oh, it's coming.
Bid-a-bump. 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 Bid-a-bump.
We never get good news.
I'll send the invisible kobold out to see what the... Not the kobold, invisible kobold.
Invisible kobold.
It's like, where did you get one of these?
Talia snaps her fingers. Socks appears. Is very upset.
First thing he says is, "Didn't I kill you?"
Well, yeah, Thava would be more upset than everyone else. And actually, right now, Socks' level. Socks could wipe the floor with this party.
Socks would one-shot her.
Oh yeah.
I send out the invisible imp to see what the horde is, but we're all assuming it's just kobold skeletons.
You see what appears to be a bear skeleton running down a street.
Well, that's new.
What?
It turns, and the head is not of a bear. Some kind of bird.
Oh, well, that's disturbing and new.
So basically, something about this city is causing skeletons to just merge.
It's a man-bear bird.
It's a what?
Please no.
Oh, mercy, what is probably going to become a part of?
It's probably an owlbear skeleton. It's
What if
not
you
a
do-
kobold. It's
Was it wearing any
looks like
kind of
an
trinket?
owlbear. Oh,
Because if it wasn't wearing a trinket, we should be okay.
no, we would not be. If it was wearing a trinket, we would not be okay.
No, no
Trinket
one
is
would be okay.
vicious. Trinket is vicious.
Actually, I wouldn't be afraid of trinkets so much as I'd be afraid of everyone that appears with. I've
Look,
learned from my mistakes.
Can your imp keep an eye on things from the sky and help us find a route through here that doesn't involve fighting either all the kobolds put together or weird skeleton owlbear? Or is that impossible?
Maybe?
Anything's impossible if you put your mind to it.
I will cut you, I swear to God.
Not in the face! Not in the face!
What was that?
Not in the face, not in the face.
Well,
Hey, probably there's this giant thing in that direction.
that
Can
might be
you
able
please
to
go
kill you.
talk to it for us?
I'd
Don't tell
rather
where we
not.
are, just...
Everyone's here is afraid of it, including me.
Yes, but you want to die, so go.
No. You don't die when it catches you. That's the thing.
It absorbs you.
Well, maybe not you. Your bones are on the inside.
Okay, can you talk to the other thing, maybe then? And I point to where the owlbear skeleton in that direction.
Oh, Mr. Hoots? Nah,
Just distract it.
Mr. Hoots is mostly harmless. It's their brother
you-
you gotta watch out for. Well, brothers. It's a little weird.
Okay, well, we can't use this thing as a sacrificial lamb, so how about we go back to plan, head towards the horde, and just try to keep our distance from the
You
noises?
would use me as a sacrificial lamb?
Where's
That's
the
so
snowball?
bad.
Do I need one?
You were
where's the
going to try to
snowball?
pull the wool over my eyes, weren't you?
No, we were not pulling any kind of wool over your eyes. We were very,
Is
we were
that
very,
the fun? This is great.
we were extremely direct with you on that one.
They're terrible people, but you get used to them.
Oh, it's fine. I was a terrible person too. I think. I probably was.
Where did we leave the Swobold, by the way?
The
I think
Swobold
he's
wanted to
still
make a
trying to
gym.
put a gym together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably
Really helpful
building
right
his
now.
gym happily right now.
He would be extremely helpful right now.
Kinda glad he's not here.
The whole don't fight them unless they attack first thing, I don't think he would have been capable of that based on what you told me.
That's the point.
That's
He could
yeah.
be the
Yes, he attacks,
sacrificial
we
lamb.
run.
Yes.
He could have been the sacrificial lamb that aggroed the entire city against us, is what you're saying.
Pretty much. He has no fear at all.
Never trust someone who has no fear.
Look,
I
can
didn't
we
hear
just
that.
get out of the street and into some sort of
I
building?
did not
I
hear
didn't
what
hear
Crash
that.
West said.
Never trust someone who has no fear. They'll be
Well, that's
honest
the first
with
thing I
you.
think we've ever agreed upon.
They'll be honest with you, but they'll make mistakes when they shouldn't. All right, so if we want to get in through a building, how about this one?
We're going to have to head towards the building where the horde is eventually. I mean, I assume the dragon kept its horde in a building or a cave, not
Probably
just
in
a
the
pile in the street.
Probably in the central palace or in one of the subrooms underneath it, most likely. The last thing I read about it was that it was kept in a large pile in the center chamber in the palace, but that might have been put there for show, and then moved back after the show. Deucalion liked being dramatic. With that said, the proposal has been made for us to get out of the street. Here's a door. It's locked. Gorga, you're up.
Okay. Is this sleight of hand, if I remember right?
Yes.
Okay, and I get to add my proficiency a second time because I'm proficient in thieves' tools.
Mm-hmm.
But I nat one.
Okay. So this is not like when you tried to pick the lock in the chest that was a mimic. There is definitely a locking mechanism there, but it has apparently been left unused for so long that you physically cannot move the material inside properly. Okay, fine. Ryan, you're next.
All right.
When I said get into a building, that included just hurrying to the central chamber thing where the horde is.
Look, am I breaking a door or not?
Break the damn door.
All right. 15.
Okay, that is sufficient. This door was not made to keep an Asimar out. So you kick the door open. It stays on its hinges, but that lock is not going to be serviceable anymore, nor is that part of the door frame. And as soon as the door gets kicked open, a bunch of kobold skeletons scamper out of the room and up some stairs.
Oh. Whoops.
And we've been playing for about an hour. What do you say we take a short break?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I'm
Good
going to
plan.
stop the... Well, not stop the recording, but I'm going to hit some buttons. All right, we are mostly live, which is the opposite of mostly dead, which is only something that encounters
How we
if
started.
you are blathing.
I got that one.
Thank you. I'm here all week because it's Saturday and also quarantine. But moving forward, always moving forward. So you broke in to some random house and a bunch of kobolds that were of a body type that we're not going to shame. They were incredibly thin, possibly supermodels, scrambled and ran up the stairs.
I know it's not going to shut entirely, but I'll do the best I can to shut the door behind us, because if the kobolds are running away from us, I figure that's better than the things outside.
Okay? The door, as you close it, starts to slowly open up again.
If there's a
Might
rock, I'll
want
try to
to
use
find
that.
something to barricade it with.
I look for a rock or something I can just place in front of the door to keep it closed.
Probably is pushing one of the chairs in here slowly across the floor over to the door.
I'll give him a hand.
Yeah, because he doesn't have any. The chair is slightly singed where it probably was pushing up against it, but, it didn't catch yet. All right, so we're probably okay if it didn't hear us or see us. Or...
Well, the best option's still just to stay quiet and wait here till the noises are farther away. And then we make for the central building again.
Yes, unfortunately, some of us aren't elves and don't have hundreds of years to wait.
I don't know if that applies to me anymore.
Yeah, I'm only half elf. I don't live thousands of years.
And by one
did
year,
say
I was
hundreds.
meaning a few hours. If the noises don't get any closer or further within a few hours, I say we chance it.
And everyone just stands there quietly for a little while as you continue to hear the boom off in the distance every few seconds. It doesn't sound like it's
Is it
getting further away.
Does it sound like it's getting much closer?
It doesn't sound like that either.
So it is stomping in place.
Maybe it wants to start a band.
Maybe it's got stuck somewhere.
I hate waiting.
Oh, it's not stuck. It's not stuck.
How do you...
I was here.
You were here.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have any valid tactical advice on avoiding this thing, then?
Go very far away and hide in a well.
Okay.
Oh, kid.
And yet you decided to follow us back to it.
I forgot.
Oh, kid.
It did make
All
it
right.
clear he has problems with memories. I guess we cannot be critical of for this.
Probably
Well,
nod
so-
sagely at this.
We can be critical. We can blame it for everything.
Well, if
You
neither
are
sound
probably
is getting...
really fun at parties, you know that?
Oh, you have no idea.
Oh, people don't like me at parties. I tend to win the card games.
It's true.
The last party I went to, I think I made everyone think they were being attacked by a pack of ravens.
Hi.
That sounds useful.
Oh, they bored
What
me.
kind of parties are you going to?
It was a party
Boring
at
is
a
cruel.
bar, and I believe it was someone's 30th birthday, and they bored me, so I made them all think that they were being attacked by a pack of ravens.
Just for... You know what? Not gonna ask. Not gonna ask. Doesn't make a difference. I know what you're like, and I won't put it past you.
I physically hurt no one. They were the ones that started fighting each other. Although I think thought they were fighting the ravens.
In Talia's defense, there was no lasting damage, and Truth be told, that night in jail Talia got for her efforts ended up introducing her to the same ragtag band of adventurers that killed the Kraken. So,
I helped.
yes, you did. And you attracted some attention in the process.
Yes,
for
which I
you.
regret now.
And what did we learn?
Don't help people destroy Krakens.
If you're going to cause mischief, be subtle about it.
Subtle's never my thing, dear.
Yes, it's why you've one-upped all of us on the death counter.
Again, fighting for my land and country.
Gods, I hate Wade.
I can go upstairs and ask if they see it's going further away or not.
That would be wonderful. Thank you.
Right.
Do they know you? Are they going to be
And
afraid?
it's too late. Probably is already going up the stairs.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I pray
Gone.
I pray that he gets absorbed and murdered.
I heard that!
You were supposed to.
Ah!
Okay, we have a very irritated SMR tank, so something is going to happen soon, I think.
At least I don't throw spells at random people when I get... No. I need to calm down.
What
Sorry.
are you trying to say? Come at me. Come on.
Oh,
Bring
don't
it
try
out.
and stutter.
Trying.
Come on.
To say that I am sick and tired of being the only adult in the room with a functioning moral compass. Sorry, Fava, but your moral compass is a pseudo track, and
Okay, for flavor, Gorga was about to object at functioning adult, but when moral compass came in, she quieted up.
I would like to point out I have a very, very, very well-tuned moral compass. I trust
your
no one.
moral compass is pointing southeast.
What's wrong with that?
You are getting louder. The thing is going to hear us. Could you both maybe
That is a very
not?
good point, Morley. I will be quiet. Thank you.
In Talia's defense, in all seriousness, morals are not a universal trait. They are deep and personal. Your morals are not my morals. They are not Talia's morals. They are not even Morley's morals. Each of us has our own way that we live our lives, and that way is valid for each of us. Where we end up in trouble is when we decide that our way of living our life is how everyone needs to do things.
That would be a lovely concept if Talia didn't keep advocating for murder.
Sometimes, to be very honest, it's necessary.
Why am I always the bad one?
When it's necessary, it's less murder and more
it's still-
self-defense /
no,
defense
hold
of
on.
others.
Hold on. Regardless of how you swing it, self-defense or not, you're still ending a life. So don't even give me that.
You can stretch anything to be self-defense.
Anything can be stretched to be self-defense or for the greater good. I'm just willing and open enough to say what it actually is, dear.
I'm sure that helps you sleep at night.
Oh, I have no trouble sleeping at night. None at all. My conscience is completely clear.
I think we're all wound a little tight right now.
Yes,
For
yes,
very-
we are. I
for
have
some-
been on my last nerve for like a day.
I think
Yeah.
that our reasons for being on our last nerves are very valid. I don't want to discount any of them. I will state for the record that we keep getting very loud during this discussion. And I will also state for the record that I haven't heard any footsteps for the last few minutes. And that is very disconcerting.
As subtly as I can, I'm going to take a peek out the door.
Give me a perception check.
25.
Whoa.
Rolled an
You
18
see.
and I have a +7.
You see a pile of bones that wasn't there before. It is not a full skeleton's worth of bones, just a few bones, like maybe a femur and a few ribs.
Okay, there are some new bones that showed up. I don't think these ones are moving, but I can't be sure.
Bones that just showed up.
Yes.
Whatever defensive spells anyone has, I highly recommend readying them right now.
Okay.
Shield of Faith.
I will use the mage armor.
Agathis?
Using the mage armor, a thing.
I'm also dreading the fact that these words are coming out of my mouth, but probably has been uncharacteristically quiet as well.
Maybe it's dead.
We're never that lucky.
It made a point of saying it can't die.
No, she's right. She's right. We're never that lucky.
Bones start pouring down the stairs.
Oh, this is a problem.
It is a modeled collection of bones. You do see a few very kobold-like skulls in there, but most of it is not heads. Some windows burst inward, and more bones start pouring in that way too.
We should probably run.
Yeah, I'm gonna open
Still
up
can.
the door.
Let's go.
And downwards running. Run.
Yeah.
Okay.
Running.
I
As
will
you-
bring up the rear closest to the bones.
Give me a dexterity save.
Everyone?
No. Ryan. Ryan is purposefully waiting for everyone to go out the door. You have a 12. Okay. I need to check something. There is an actual stat for this. And if you're not terrified by that fact. Okay. You got a 12. That isn't high enough. Fascinating. You take 18 bludgeoning damage
Well, I'm bloodied.
as you are shoved out the door. This does knock you prone as well, according to the information here. The good news is that ability has a recharge. And then,
Initiative?
possibly soonish, the bones all merge together and stand up where the house used to be. Well, a lot of the house is still there. One could argue that 3 of the 4 outer walls are intact-ish. The wall that was between it and the party is no longer intact, however, nor is the roof or any of the interior floors. And like I said, it is somewhat humanoid in shape. It's got 2 legs, 2 arms, doesn't have a head unless the ornamentation on the chest is its head, and it raises its arms up in the air and flexes at you.
Hello, Bone Bag.
And in the distance, no, not in the distance, very close, but muffled, you hear, "I don't like this part at all!" And that's where we're going to end it tonight,
Oh, wow.
because it's 7 o'clock. We will begin our next session by rolling for initiative.
Okay.
There was a chance you were going to fight this tonight, but RP happened. And how dare I ever attempt to stop RP?
Oh, right. Yeah.
Really good RP.
It was
I
good,
know, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I love that. So, thank you, everyone, for playing this fantastic game with me. Thank you, everyone who listened in. Tonight, I was joined by a bunch of awesome people, including Chris, Io, Jen, Cindy. Ellie joined us to hang out. Still not feeling well. Get well soon, Ellie. We're glad that you felt well enough to be here with us, at least listening in. Archbeth was hanging out in chat as well, posting copious amounts of octopuses to the Twitch chat, because this is what one does.
Octopi?
Both are considered acceptable.
Okay.
Yes. Let's go through a few quick plugs. So, Chris does a fortnightly recorded podcast, Azeroth CTC. Even when he's not feeling well enough to be a part of the show, he hangs out in chat and does his best to ridicule the people who are involved in the podcast.
I was laying in my bed with my foot elevated, just on my iPad, just telling them what they were doing wrong.
And I was there for that content, and I was right along with it. Hashtag turn your fan on.
Yeah.
So, AzerothCTC.com. It's not just about World of Warcraft, which the name implies. They talk about many games, but check that out. Ellie runs a whole social network, elec.xyz. Many of us have accounts there. Those of us who have social media accounts who are willing to share that information, check our cast page, which is linked in the show notes, and you'll see how to follow us, those of us who care to be followed. Eo's mom writes books. You can find those at elizabeth-mccoy.com. Jen has a blog and podcast. You can find that at bookofjen.net. Cindy is awesome and will remain so. And we have a Patreon, patreon.com/cogwheelgaming. Help us keep the lights on, along with many illustrious patrons, including Chris, Ellie, Eric, Janatalock, Mickey, Shan, and Walter. And until next time, this is Crash saying, no bones about it. This is going to be tough. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.